Ready when you are.
Our country is Haiti.
Alright, so here's some background information on our country, Haiti. So we have a population of almost 11 million people, and we're on the island of Hispaniola, which is bordering Dominican Republic, and it's between the Caribbean Sea and Atlantic Ocean, and they're very susceptible to natural disasters. And they were originally part of the French colony, so a lot of people there do speak French.
So the thesis is Haiti's mismanaged government fails to support its citizens and environment economically and health-wise.
So why these issues matters is because the government uses its people with the labor force and basically their money. The people pay taxes to the government, which they think will help them with government-funded agencies. But if the government are not using the money to create government-funded agencies, they're revolting. So now I seen on YouTube and online, I get like notifications that Haiti's people are actually revolting and that it's a lot of gang violence due to the people not trusting its government with the money. And I think that this also matters because the government needs to take action and listen to its people. The people cannot, it's a democracy, quote unquote democracy, but a democracy is where you pick people who leads the country. But Haiti's people they pick their people, but it's a lot of rigging, like they say, and the people who run the country are elite, so the people who are elite are benefiting themselves instead of the people.
The government is mismanaged. So basically, they constantly allow fraudulent representatives in their legislature in hopes of maintaining their stability. According to Johnston, his article on the Haitian Times, they let legal bandits and everything into their government in order for the higher power to contain power in the government. And also, Haiti's government doesn't use the donated money for their national disasters. So Milford said they got donated from a huge fund during the large earthquake that happened, and the money still hasn't been put into the country yet.
So Haiti does not support its citizens economically, and that's because, like I said, they're overtaxed. The people are being taxed more. Well, they're having to pay more taxes for something they're not benefiting, and instead of them paying more, with them paying more taxes, it's less money in their pockets to feed their families and to have a stable home. And also the money being not managed correctly, and back to what I was saying, within the government, they take the money and benefit the elite instead of the poor population. And like Angel said, the money is not like, what is it? The NGOs, non-government organizations, they are basically paying to replenish the homes and everything instead of the government actually doing it. And also inflation. So due to the overtaxes, more products are becoming to cost way expensive, and the money, the worth of it's called gourds, is coming less value, and also the government doesn't give back to its people, and no GFA, and that means no government, no government funded agencies. There we go.
Alright, so my statement was the government doesn't support the citizens health-wise. Haiti has never ever completely recovered from a natural hazard, which I've said they're very, very, very susceptible to it, like they're happening left and right all the time. So because they have all these damages that have never been fixed, it creates a lot of health problems. So 44% of people drink untreated water daily, and then also a lot of people, I forget the exact amount, but there's a very high percentage of people who don't sleep in enclosed shelter. So that also does affect their living conditions, and because they have a lot of health problems, it prohibits them from being able to work. And tying back to both of Angel's and is that the government is seeing this and recognizing this, and they're creating plans, but they're not fulfilling them. Our conclusion is that Haiti's government is corrupt due to the fraudulent behavior happening in the legislature. The Haitian government also isn't supporting its citizens economically, and lastly, Haiti's government fails to support its citizens health-wise. The money is just not being used to benefit its citizens, it's being mismanaged.
Okay. Let me get questions here for this group, so we can know which questions will be asked. So,
Can we get another?
all right, so I'll give you one in a sec. My question here is, my first one will be for Angel. On what basis did your team make decisions about what to include in the presentation?
So we basically picked what we felt most comfortable with, what we had the most support with evidence and everything, and stuff that tied into each other that we could make sure that they actually go together, so that we don't have three different issues that don't really go together. So we chose what seemed like the biggest issue that we could all find the best evidence for.
Okay, could you give an example?
So basically the whole big issue was that it's very mismanaged, and the government, the corrupt government, wasn't supplying the needs of the country, basically.
Okay, thank you. This one will be for Jody. Which aspect of transitioning from 3 reports to one coherent group argument and presentation was the most difficult?
I feel like the most difficult was the health, because mine was, you could say economically, but since the government, it's kind of weird. Like, I feel like health didn't tie into mine, which was kind of like government and the money, like taxes and their like products and stuff. Because from a health perspective, you could say poverty and that, but hers was more of like the conditions of the people, instead of like how much money they make, how are they living, stuff like physical. And mine's
Okay.
tied into like money.
So making the connection between those
making
different
the
lenses.
connection between physical being and like how much money they had, or like how much money.
Okay, thank you. Good answer. And then my last one will be for Mia. I'm going to ask this one. How did your own views about the problem or issue change as a result of evidence found by your other team members?
So mine was mainly backed up by stats, yeah. Because I am a very like number-based person. Math is my favorite subject, so I felt like that helped me come up with my claim more. And both of Jody and Angel, theirs were more on like cause and effect and like articles. Yeah.
Okay, so how did your views of the issue change as a result of their evidence that they brought to the group?
Definitely tying into like the economic fact. I hadn't really like considered that much.
For health?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Thank you. Good job, everybody. Thank you. Yay. So now I can put this in on y'all's grade.